everybody. Welcome back to Modern Monarchy. Today, we're going to investigate something that I thought was a non-story like a couple months ago, and it really is a non-story still. But we're going to be talking about the images that were deleted from the Jenner Kardashian clan's Instagrams on Chris's 70th birthday, because at first I didn't care, and then a week ago-ish, Kim was on her sister Chloe's podcast and they mentioned it, and the way they talked about it just made me ask more questions. So now we're just going to investigate the whole thing, because that's what you do, right?
Absolutely.
You get some small, tiny, vague questions, and then you
turn into a
3
PI.
hours. You take 3 hours and scrounge the internet for any tiny details you can get.
Obviously.
So,
tell me all the things. What's the tea?
We're going to start November 5th, 2025. Harry goes to Toronto for a couple of days. So he has like a few events. He has a few days of events for Remembrance Day, which is on the 11th, so 6 days from then. He's out there to honor armed forces members who served, fought, and died in the line of duty since World War I, which is what Remembrance Day is. One of the issues that people were mentioning in the news was like, he went to Canada the same time that William went to Brazil for the Earthshot Awards. And so some people got all their panties in a bunch about him trying to pull the limelight away from William. They do that a lot. Like, their schedules kind of cross with the royal family because the royal family is always doing something. Guys. They're like, he knew that was going to happen, and he tried to schedule his trip to Canada where he clearly had to have like an entire event put together. Like, he's standing at a podium. He didn't just slap that together real quick. While he was in Toronto, this is not directly connected to the photos, but it is funny. While he was in Toronto, he said, truthfully, and jokes aside, this city, Toronto, will always mean a great deal to me. You provided a wife for me. Weird phrasing.
I was going to say, I'm like, that's weird.
Not only is it weird to say, as in like you just offered her up on a plate for me.
For me? A wife?
She's not really from Toronto.
Right?
You provided a wife for me, and you hosted the Invictus Games in 2017. Touchstones in my life, both professionally and personally. And he was mentioning all of these lovely things because he had to apologize for wearing a Dodgers cap at a Dodgers game recently.
How dare he? Oh my.
I think his excuse was like the owners invited us, and so I felt pressured to wear the hat that they gave me during the game. And I was like,
okay, wait.
So say you're a fair weather fan.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm like, so are we legit judging people for like wearing the home teams? Like, were they playing Toronto? Because here's my thing, okay, about this specific instance. And I get it, he's a prince. He probably should root for Canada. But at the same time, as somebody who just generally enjoys going to like hockey games,
it was Dodgers versus Blue Jays.
Okay, well then there's no excuse for that. I can't defend that. I can't defend that. Never mind.
They've been to visit the Red Sox, and apparently one of the Red Sox players, Mookie Betts, is like distantly related to Meghan. So I think that's why they went to go say hi. I don't know. But then I saw them at a Yankees game wearing Yankees stuff, and I was like, excuse me? You can't wear both Red Sox and Yankees things in the same lifetime. What are you doing?
See, but for me, I'm like, I've worn a Bruins jersey and I've worn a Canadiens jersey, and there are people who feel like you who are like, that's sacrilege. And I'm like, I just like hockey.
I, just,
Rooting
I
for
think
the
these
hockey.
two, I don't even think these two like baseball. I think they were just invited for a free thing, and they were like, okay, let's go.
Okay. But yeah, no, I
Anyways,
can't. Like, in his specific instance, you probably should wear a
I'm
Toronto
just saying, I
hat.
feel for the Toronto people.
Okay.
So somewhere around the 7th or 8th, the 8th being the big day, somewhere around the 7th or 8th, Harry comes back down to the US and he goes to the Baby to Baby gala with Meghan to support their friend Serena Williams, who was the honoree of the night for her advocacy for maternal and black maternal health. The Baby to Baby charity is a national nonprofit that provides children in need with diapers, clothing, and all the basic necessities. Super great. We love that. Interesting notes. Past honorees of the Baby to Baby Gala are Kim Kardashian, who we can obviously see occasionally hangs out with Meghan, Chrissy Teigen, who hangs out with Meghan, Drew Barrymore, who had Meghan on her show, Gwyneth Paltrow, who had Meghan at her house this year, and Kerry Washington, who hung out with Meghan at a Beyonce concert. So really, it just seems like there's a little group of people that just pass around trophies. After the party is Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party. The theme 007 because she's 0070. Get it?
Yes.
70th. Um,
That's pretty good.
it is at Jeffrey Bezos' house. Not a fan. He purchased.
Why?
Why? Because he's
Yeah.
rich.
Ew.
All these people hang out together because they're rich. It's weird.
Disgusting.
Yeah, especially because Meghan and Harry just like try to portray themselves as these wonderful people who just want to help the world, but then they hang out with all of these people who are really problematic for everybody, for our country, for the world at large.
Yeah.
So Bezos bought it's the Warner estate where one of the ex-presidents of Warner Brothers used to own this. So it's a $165 million estate. I was going to say mansion, but it's not the house. It's the house and the amount of Los Angeles you're purchasing.
Right.
And then he also bought the adjacent home for another like $10 million so he could increase the privacy. So that's why if you look on the map right now, everything's like in construction right now, which I don't know
Got
why
it.
you would have a giant Hollywood party where you're doing construction.
Just don't look over there.
So this is what his front gate looks like, just if you're curious, because I saw this and I was like, what the hell is that? And apparently all of his neighbors feel the same way about these ginormous shrubbery.
Shrubbery. Is this what they were talking about in the Monty Python?
This is
I
the
require
shrubbery.
shrubbery.
Shrubbery. I mean,
Is that what Jeffrey
these-
Bezos does? He just sits in his little castle. He goes,
Yes.
I demand shrubbery.
Bigger.
Which, like, come on, what are you hiding? I mean, granted, I know it's
Billionaire
all
weird stuff.
exactly.
It looks ridiculous. These shrubs are like 2/3 the height of a palm tree.
I mean, I appreciate the car for scale as well.
Yes. Yes.
Because, like, palm tree, in a way, you can be a little more like, well, I don't really know how tall a palm tree is. Like, I know it's tall, but maybe it's a short palm tree. So the cars are very helpful.
Well, if we were to call the cars like the hands of measuring a horse, you probably have like seven cars tall.
Maybe like 5, 6 of the SUV. I don't know about this car over here.
Oh, I'm looking at the car on the left.
I'm still going 6. Either way. Either way.
Not important, just thought it was interesting because his neighbors hate it.
No.
People that showed up at this party were people like Mariah Carey, Oprah Winfrey, Justin and Hailey Bieber, Sarah Paulson, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Meghan Trainor, Naomi Watts, Paris Hilton, Adele, Martha Stewart, Snoop Dogg, Tyler Perry, our best friend,
buddy,
Mark Zuckerberg, another winner, and Bill Gates, who is also just a great guy.
Yeah.
Sarcasm. And
hey, by
Bruno
the way,
Mars...
where can one get antibiotics to give to somebody else against their will or knowledge?
What a weirdo.
No woman has ever seen a Z-Pack and been like, oh yeah, that's not weird.
It's fine. It's normal. That's what rich people do.
Preventative antibiotics.
Yeah. And Bruno Mars performed live. My next note is, why are we hanging out with these people? Obviously, it's because they're rich.
But still.
But it also brings up the other question of, you went to a party with all of these people and you didn't think your picture was going to get posted?
You're right.
Well, let's just look at some lovely pictures of them coming in. Again, they were taking pictures of people walking in. Like you can see behind Megan, there's that gate by the shrubbery. So it was like paparazzi taking pictures, but like the ground they're walking on looks disgusting. Mm-hmm. This is another one of my favorite pictures because of the glaring red eyes.
I was going to say, I'm like, the red eye?
Yeah, they look a little demonic. It's fine.
Also, I'm just going to say it. It really bothers me. It really bothers me that those two blacks don't match.
Oh my God. It bothers me too.
Like if you're going for like Black Secret Agent 007, the whole thing is like inconspicuous. I can spot those two different shades of black from a mile away. One's very like a dark navy, and I don't fucking like it. You stick out like a sore thumb. You'd be a shit spy.
Yeah, I'm sure that top and that skirt are expensive as fuck.
But they don't go together?
They look cheap.
Yes.
They look like Shein fabric because it's like shiny where the fabric is stretching.
Yep.
Anyways.
So yeah, I had to say that.
So these are just some of the images that were deleted because these ones were posted by Kris Jenner. And you're like, I'm looking at them. I'm like, what is the problem? They don't look any different than they did at Baby to Baby. Another thing to note is that as much as Bezos' neighbors hate him for the shrubbery, the cops were reportedly called to this event multiple times for noise complaints.
Shocker.
And apparently they also had to return due to reports of massive fake hedges blocking the road near the property. These were said to have been removed as a permit, which was not obtained, was required to have the dividers in the road.
What?
Obviously, you are not allowed to block the fucking road
with your 40-foot tall shrubs.
No, I think they had other like fake shrubs that they could just like push out into the street to like keep people away from the gate where all these celebrities are coming in and out.
Oh my God.
Which I don't understand why you wouldn't just have the celebrities drive in
And then drop them off and then leave.
and drop them off by the front door.
Yeah, that's
Like
weird.
why are people walking in and out the front gate?
And then you need the
It's
dude
because he
from
wants to show
Princess
off the
Di.
shrubbery.
I spent a lot of money on this. Do you like it? Walk through it. But it reminds me, like, it should have been like Princess Diaries too, where there's the dude who like announces everybody coming and going as they get out of
About
their
what?
vehicles. Remember the dude who's got like the stick, and there's the little girl who like has to go pee, and he like announces everything that has to happen.
Wait, no, which thing are we talking about?
I'm talking about it would have been cooler. Or in my
No,
mind,
I mean, like, what media are you talking about? What, a show, a movie? What? You're
oh
like
yeah,
talking about people, and I am like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought I said that like 12 times. Princess Diaries 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind. Let's move on. Anyways, so
It's a girl who has to pee, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I
Just because when you said it the first time, just that little blip of information did not stick. So I was like trying to ask what it is, but I couldn't even remember if it was a show or a movie or.
hope okay. Anyways, never mind.
Anyway, so one of the theories is just going to be that it's because it was Remembrance Day, like in a couple of days after this. And you can see even Harry is wearing the
A
poppy
puppy.
that he's been wearing all week for Remembrance Day. And that's very solemn. And so people are like, you probably didn't want to be seen partying it up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I wonder if he has multiple poppies or if he just took it off the other coat that he wore at Baby to Baby because he's wearing a different coat.
That's a good question.
All these questions. Some of the pictures from the party go up. Everybody go, ooh, ah, there's so many celebrities in one spot. It's so cool.
It's so cool.
But Rob Shooter, who is a man who has connections in Hollywood and here's the hot goss, he has a Substack, and he wrote about this on the 10th, so a couple days after. And I would like Cassie to read this little note.
Exclusive. Meghan and Harry's embarrassing night. Guests ask, who invited them? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's surprise appearance at Kris Jenner's star-studded 70th birthday bash has left Hollywood insiders buzzing and baffled. The royal rebels slipped into Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's $175 million mansion for the James Bond-themed soiree, hand in hand and looking every inch the glam power couple. But there was one problem.
Ew.
They weren't on the official guest list. People were whispering, who brought the Sussexes? One attendee laughs. It was giving mystery plus security breach. Even megastars like Oprah and Kim Kardashian swore they didn't extend the invite. In Hollywood, everyone assumes someone else did, a source adds. Witnesses say the pair looked polite but distant and exited before Bruno Mars hit the stage. Or exited. They smiled, mingled for 10 minutes, then vanished, another insider reveals. One thing's for sure, even at Chris's most exclusive bash, Meghan and Harry proved they're still the ultimate uninvited guests.
So, we don't know for sure that they weren't invited. But I have a theory. There were a few people who went to Baby and then went to this party. One is Miranda Kerr. Meghan Trainor, who went from dressed like a princess at Baby to dressing like, I don't know, Ivana Trump from the 80s. I don't know what that look is supposed to be. I don't get James
Bullfighter.
Bond. Bullfighter. She does have that little jacket.
Right.
Yes.
And with the little puffed sleeves, too.
Yes. And another person went to both. Paris Hilton. Now, I'm thinking maybe this party, which was a lot of A-listers together, so I'm guessing a lot of people in Hollywood would be talking about it and whether or not people are going. So I'm wondering if one of these three kind of brought it up around Harry and Meghan and were like, you want to just go? And they were like, yeah. There's billionaires there. Also, this is an interesting coincidence, but has nothing to do with why the pictures were deleted. So Paris goes to both events in a silver Jenny Packham dress. And I saw this dress and I instantly remembered where I've seen it before. And it was in gold. And it was Catherine at a James Bond movie premiere.
What?
Interesting.
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 That's interesting. That's
also,
wild.
This is not. I mean, this is less wild because there's only so many options for men. But Harry did change his jacket for this second party, and it's the same jacket that William wore to the James Bond movie premiere.
Woof.
By the way, this picture on the right where it looks like Harry's like helping Paris out of the gate, I put them together. I don't know if you can tell. It's not a real picture.
Thank you for admitting that it wasn't AI.
It's literally just two pictures spliced together.
You never know these days.
I know. So November 11th, November 12th. I don't know who noticed that Meghan and Harry were deleted from Kim and Chris's Instagram. Like, I want to know how that happens. Who is obsessively
Checking the same post?
going back to check it?
It might have been an innocent thing where it's like, say I sent you a post and you didn't look at it till later, and if the photos were deleted and I was like, look at this photo of Meghan, and somebody was like, what? I don't see it. And then, right, and then you go back and you're like, oh my God, I swear to God it was there earlier. It must have gotten deleted.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there are weird ass people who are checking those posts constantly, but I'm saying,
oh yeah.
Here's also a very real thing that has happened in my situation.
Okay, so I'm going to have you read this chunk from a People magazine article trying to explain why we think the images may have been deleted.
The real reason Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian removed photos of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry from their social media posts celebrating Jenner's 70th birthday bash has been revealed. That's a run-on sentence if I've ever heard one.
Oh, yeah.
People understands the Duke and Duchess of Sussex didn't agree to have photos of them taken inside the party and checked no on a photo consent form, leading to the images posted on Instagram to be removed. However, a source close to the event refutes the claim, telling people there were no consent forms.
So first of all, I would like to note that the beginning of this blurb says the real reason has been revealed. And then they go on to tell you what both sides say, but we don't know which one it is.
Right?
So no, it has not been revealed. This is just further confused.
Right?
I think it's interesting, and not that it's the first time that Meghan and Harry's team have like lied about stuff, but when they lie, they're always like, it's always like a really weird lie. Like, why would you say they checked no on a consent form if there wasn't one?
Right. Because like that's easily fact checked.
Right. Like, there were a lot of other people at the party, and they would know if there was a consent form. So eventually somebody's going to tell you that's wrong. I just think they're really not good at lying. Like, the Kardashians can't lie that there were no consent forms because then everybody from the party would start leaking to the press that, yeah, we signed a form.
Right.
And I, unfortunately, trust the Kardashians more than I trust these Sussexes. All right, here's a quote from page 6 on what may have happened.
A source tells Page Six that a rep for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle asked Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian to remove Instagram pictures that showed the Duke and Duchess of Sussex at the reality star's big 70th birthday bash. They don't want to piss off the royal family while they are trying to reconcile, said a source.
And I don't know if that's in regards to it being just before Remembrance Day, and so they didn't want to seem insensitive, or they're trying to get back with the royal family, so they didn't want them to know that we hang out with weird people. I don't.
Yeah, it doesn't look great either way.
Okay, this is a quote from Rob Shooter again.
According to insiders, the Sussexes were quote-unquote furious after discovering unapproved photos of them circulating on Instagram following the James Bond-themed party at Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's $175 million Beverly Hills mansion. Do we have to say that every time? They were polite but firm. Nothing goes online without their sign-off, a source dishes. They've built their brand on control, and they weren't about to let a Kardashian post to ruin that.
That's weird.
Yeah. You're a celebrity. People take pictures of you.
Do you know who else is super brand control? That would be the Kardashians. Like, their brand is their brand. Like, their brand is their life. Their brand is how they make money. They don't just post whatever picture they took with their cell phone. Those pictures were edited
and curated
so that everybody looked good before they post it. Anyways, a little over a month after all this goes down, Meredith Maines, who was Mary and Hagen, Harry and Meghan's 11th publicist since they've gotten together. 11th. She quits, and she just started in March of last year. And she quit in December. It's like she's done with these people. And I don't know if you remember from the summer where the Sussexes PR team and the Palace's PR team got together for a meeting.
Yes.
And then everybody saw them hanging out on the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
She was part of that meeting.
Okay.
So some people think that maybe after the Kardashian thing, which was like the last straw for her, she like waited a few more weeks so that maybe it wouldn't be directly connected to that. But I could see it being a reason to go. Like,
right.
You guys keep blatantly lying about stuff, and I'm not going to be here to cover for your ass. Okay. And then the last thing so far is the clip from Khloe Kardashian's podcast where she and her sister Kim talk about what happened at the party. And this is where I started having questions and why we're here.
Meghan Markle.
Oh, the photo
gate from Mom's 70th.
It was really innocent, which is so crazy. Mom and Meghan have been friends for some years now, and they have a really sweet relationship. We took a photo, and then I think we were all going through them. We're all, communicating about like what we're going to post. We're never ones to post without permission. We are like, it's not who we are.
We're very respectful.
Yeah, like we have the craziest, funnest photos from that night, but we were posting just like fun photos, and so
dignified photos.
We were totally,
Which means there's undignified ones
that it was totally
exactly
cool to post, and then after it was posted, I think they realized it was Remembrance Day, and they didn't want to be seen at a party, even though it's already up.
Mm-hmm.
And then taken down. And then I think they realized like, oh, this was so silly.
And they did Baby to Baby right before.
Well,
they
it's
did
like a charity event. So like, that was fine, but maybe not partying and dancing on the dance floor and whatever. So we took them down
because we're
to
respectful.
respect Remembrance Day.
Yes.
And then
Respectful.
you just gotta laugh at like the situation sometimes and just like lighten it up and be, if everyone's taking it the wrong way, like lean in. I was like, we should do a full Skims campaign. Take the photo, even just us. Like, I'll shoot you at mom, post it and then delete it like 30 minutes later. And then I say, oh, sorry, I didn't have permission to post those photos for the campaign.
You should do that.
That's what I was like, that would have hit so funny.
You should do, yes.
If we just made it light and made it funny. I think it would have been like received differently. But I hated how that was received for everyone. That sucks.
Well, it was made into something.
It was just made into something that was so crazy and ridiculous that just didn't have to be.
So what Kim said is that she thinks that they didn't want the pictures posted because it was Remembrance Day and they didn't want to be seen partying, which means nobody gave her a reason to delete them. Right? She just thinks that. She doesn't. That's not what they told her. I also am wondering when they say we don't post pictures without permission. Is that like a verbal thing where you like take a picture with somebody and you're like, oh, is it okay if I put this on my Instagram? Because if they don't post without permission, they had to have gotten permission, correct?
Right, and like had a conversation and been like, hey, is it okay to post this? And they would have had to respond and say, yeah, that's fine. Or no thanks.
None of this got clearer.
Right?
The last thing I wanted to point out from this clip, I thought it was very interesting that when she talks about Meghan, she puts distance between herself and Meghan by saying,
my mom is friends
Meghan.
I also
Meghan have this sweet relationship that I want no part of.
Well, and it's just the fact that it's like the second Chloe said Meghan, she was like, oh, honey, sweetie baby.
There was also another part of this podcast where they were talking to a friend on their phone, and he was talking about the party and how he's like, people don't have parties like that anymore, where it's just like back to back to back A-list stars. It was crazy. And Kim looks over at Chloe and she kind of loud whispers, oh, should we talk about the party crashers? But then they never go back to that. So like people are wondering if the party crashers was Meghan and Harry, and they just didn't get that out.
Got it.
Although I don't think she would have done that because she's trying so hard to give Meghan and Harry the grace, the good media, the good, I don't know. She's trying so hard not to say like those dumbasses went to a party where there's all these celebrities taking pictures and then they didn't think that their pictures were going to go on the website. She's trying so hard to be nice to Meghan.
Right?
So what do you think happened? Because what I think happened is that Meghan and Harry went to baby, and I think that they weren't invited, and they just went with somebody. Although, if they weren't invited, why did Harry have a second jacket? Because Harry changed.
They're rich. He can buy a second jacket.
I mean, I suppose. I mean, you could send somebody out to get a second jacket. I don't know why. Oh, and he also had a different tie.
Wait, was this the same night?
Yeah, baby to baby was right before the party.
Okay, in my brain, when you were doing the timeline, I was thinking like the day before. Okay, well, I was going to say, I'm like, I feel like you would have to know ahead of time.
Yeah, unless they sent somebody out to buy those things.
Right.
Now I'm questioning whether I think that they were invited. Because I don't think he would care that much to be like on theme for the party when he's already wearing technically a suit.
Well, and it would kind of explain her thrown together look.
I don't want to talk about her outfit. It was disappointing to say the least. Okay, here we go.
Incubated this thought.
Okay. So Megan is more friends with Chris, right? Maybe Chris is the only one that invited them. And everybody else was like, why the hell are they here? We don't hang out with them.
Possible.
Maybe that's why everybody else was asking who invited them.
Possible. But I guess why wouldn't you like explicitly say like, if you know that that's a rumor, why would Kim and Chloe go on the podcast and not say like, well, mom invited them? Because by that point, she would have had to know that like people were asking the question.
Which question?
Of like who invited them.
Oh, maybe. But like, maybe that was when she said mom and Megan have been friends for years and they have like a sweet relationship. Maybe that was her way of saying that her mom invited her because they're friends.
Maybe. But she didn't explicitly say that.
I'm changing my mind now. I changed my mind in the moment. Because of the costume change on Harry, which I don't think he is, I don't know. I don't think he would be enthusiastic enough to have somebody go out and buy him a jacket and a bow tie.
Right.
And the fact that Kim is purposefully saying that they have been friends for years. I'm going to say they were invited. I'm going to say everybody else at the party didn't want them there.
And maybe that's part of why they only stayed for like 10 minutes or whatever, because it was clear that like nobody...
They didn't have anybody to hang out with except for Chris.
Right.
Although I think it might have been awkward when Megan ran into Mariah Carey at the party after she had her on her podcast and was all upset that Mariah called her a diva.
Also, Tyler Perry's there.
Oh, and Tyler Perry's there. So they could have talked to him if they're talking to him.
Right.
Since he's having issues in the media with his court cases.
Yeah.
I feel like they've kind of distanced themselves from Tyler Perry. But then why would they want... I think they wanted the images deleted because of Remembrance Day. That one tracks for me. I find it interesting that they didn't say that to Kim when they asked for the pictures to be taken down.
Right.
In the end, everything is stupid. They shouldn't have asked anybody to delete anything because it just made a big deal out of literally nothing. Like, I didn't even know those pictures existed until they were deleted. It's just like that Coldplay concert where the couple that was cheating on their spouses.
Yeah, we're on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, they're on the Jumbotron, and then they freak out that they're on the Jumbotron, and it's like nobody would have shared that on the internet if you had just acted cool.
Normal. Right?
Yeah, that's what I think happened. I think they were invited only by Chris. They didn't have really anybody to hang out with at the party, and so they left early. And then the press obviously attacked them for being all party while still wearing the poppy for Remembrance Day that is just around the corner. And then Harry and Meghan, in an attempt to make things better, asked for the images to be deleted because they're dumb.
And then effectively made everything worse.
Yeah.
I feel like
and Kim doesn't like Meghan.
I feel like that is a solid representation. Because I guess the other thing too is like you could in theory just have asked them to leave.
Yeah, but I think Chris invited them.
Well, that's what I'm saying though, is like you wouldn't, like if they truly were not supposed to be there, somebody would have asked them to leave.
Yeah. That would have been a story.
That would have been phenomenal.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex kicked out of Jeffrey Bezos' house for Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party.
Jennifer, Jeff Bezos and what the fuck Sanchez's $175 million
Beverly Hills mansion. Okay. So we've solved it. The whole thing is solved. Hopefully nothing else comes up in the media.
case closed. This is what all
Anybody
of our Nancy
watching
Drew
this
training was for.
Yes, exactly.
We should have some. We need to have like a bit for this, like some sort of like royal detectives.
Yeah. We could get magnifying glasses.
Exactly.
Okay, so tell us what you think in the comments, if you have comments wherever you're listening. And if you like this video and you want us to do more current eventy things, let us know. Give us a like, subscribe, follow, share, do all the things. And we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong.
As the Queen herself did with such unswerving devotion, I too now solemnly pledge myself, throughout the remaining time God grants me, to uphold the constitutional principles at the heart of our nation.
I commit myself to serve you all, King, country, and Commonwealth. God save the King.